guys, welcome back to another episode of Adultish Advice. I'm Julie.
And I'm Marissa.
So happy to have you guys listening still. Going strong. Fourth episode. Sorry.
We filmed them in different orders than they're released.
Yeah, so I get confused. You guys know I get confused.
But we're really excited because this is a very important topic.
Yes.
And a little different than what we've been doing. We're trying to hit a kind of range of different topics, themes, so that you guys get a taste for maybe what we want to talk about, but then also if there are things that you want to know or want us to elaborate on with our incredible advice.
Please email us, adultishadvicepodcast@gmail.com. I have to memorize that. I don't know if the podcast is in there or whatever.
It's in all of it.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about mental health today.
Yes.
Which I think is so important to everyone.
Especially this time of year. Beginning of the year can be tough. And
it's no longer under the stigma that it used to be under, and more people are becoming more aware of taking care of yourself in so many different ways.
Hashtag self-care.
Hell yeah, year 2020, self-care. So yeah, we wanted to talk about that and brush up on it, and I'm sure we'll do another episode down the line that covers more topics or, be with somebody. I mean, it'd be cool to have like a psychologist on here.
Oh, yeah. We totally should.
Yeah, I know so many.
Julie's got the connects.
I would bring my therapist on it, but she would tell my secrets.
Probably be a conflict of interest.
Yeah, probably. She'd be like, this is why you have problems. So do you want to start?
Yeah, absolutely. So we kind of wanted to talk about like a couple different things, and hopefully in terms of the advice part, maybe like open up about a few of our things that we've dealt with or certain situations, and then anything, in the long lives we've lived, that we've learned or different things, coping methods or support group tips. So hopefully that you can kind of find like a good rhythm and be in a better place throughout 2020.
Yeah. So, what do you deal with mental health? Like, I don't know if you said you went to therapy before or like.
Yeah, I've only actually been to therapy twice, and it was ironically not even for personal reasons for me, but it was affecting that because there was, I started a digital marketing company in January of 2019. And I had been working with someone for a little bit, and then there were issues with the contract and issues with kind of the flow and how it was working. And we all know, and I'll continue to mention for the rest of my life, I hate confrontation. Yeah. It eats away at me. And especially being a business owner, I am so fortunate so far that I haven't had that many tough conversations and that many things to handle. But that was one, and it was my first thing. It was wanting to be friendly with them and find a compromise. My thing is, I maybe I'm just too optimistic, but I really would love, and in every scenario, I try to say, I want to find a perfect compromise. And most of the time, someone, if they're coming at you or they're having frustrations, it's because something isn't working. They're not feeling heard or valued, or maybe I'm upset because I know how hard I'm working, and so then I'm like, well, what are they even doing? Or, we're projecting because we feel some type of way, or we assume they're not doing X, Y, or Z. So anyways, I went to a therapist because I was like, I need help kind of dealing with this confrontation. And I didn't want to go because I thought if I didn't ask someone that I could just let it work itself out.
Wouldn't that be nice?
The queen of just this car thing doesn't work. I'll just wait a couple days, wait it out. Things sometimes work and fix themselves. So I went, and it was just hilarious because I was in maybe 8 minutes, and already I was getting choked up.
Yeah.
And I couldn't help it.
I couldn't help it. They bring it out of you.
She could be like, so how are you here?
The same way.
But then I was like, it's so crucial that I'm here, because if it's affecting me to the point of heard a stranger just ask, I didn't have any sessions with her. I didn't know her. Yeah. So it was really important to me. I think if I took away anything from it, it was to be honest, because this person, that's what they're there for. So that more honest you can be of And we talked about my confrontation stuff, like why I don't like it. And she's like, why is it bothering you? Because if I know I had to have this conversation with this girl and I wanted to be like, can I just send an email?
Yeah.
And I just like
slip a note
you
under
know,
her door.
And she's like, you have to be able to be an adult.
Yeah.
And have these conversations in person. And it's going to get easier. It's not going to get better, but it's going to get easier.
It's so hard.
So I still deal with that. And I don't think I'm doing everything correctly, but I think if there is something eating away at you in terms of if you know like you're the same way and confrontation is really tough for you, then go talk to someone. Or if like you need to break up with someone or you need to leave a job, like those big life things, like they really take a toll on your body. And maybe you're not sleeping, maybe you're not eating the same way. Maybe like my thing is I just have like my chest feels tight and I have a pit in my stomach like for the whole time. And like maybe a show will come on and I'll forget about it for a second and then I remember and then I'm like still.
Right.
So, and the second advice would be if you do have something you needed to do. So for me, the way I try and like just make it better is to just do it immediately.
Right.
The more I sit on it and like go, well, I don't want to hurt her feelings or I don't want to do this or, you know, what if they're mad at me?
It's so ridiculous.
Just do it fast.
Because you try to put yourself in their position. It's just like, I wouldn't care if it was someone coming to me, but confrontation is one of my biggest fears, like having to talk to someone.
Yeah,
like,
you're the same way.
Anything. I mean, it's different.
It's tough
though.
for you.
It's tough. Like when it's somebody that I'm like close with, it's still hard, but it's so much easier. Like when I fight with my boyfriend, I'm like, listen here. Like I'm not afraid of it. But like, yeah, when it's something professional or somebody that you're not that close with, my least favorite thing too is like when somebody wants to talk to you or meet with you, and I'm sure everyone can relate, and they can't do it right away. Like I want everything. I mean, you mentioned that you like to ignore it or like wait. I can't. I'm like, I want to have this right now because I just want to know because it will eat away at you. That I can't focus on anything else. Oh my God. It's
another thing
feeling.
To that point, like I start making problems or thinking there's going to be future problems before they are. And I question everything. So like I was so afraid to do it because I was like, what if we part ways and not on the best terms? And, you know, she knows so many people that I don't. And I was like, what if she tells everyone that I'm an awful person or blah, 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 and my reputation. And I remember having that conversation and the therapist was like, Marissa, like how long have you been here? And I was like, 5 years. She's like, you've started to build a network, a career. She's like, one person not having the best experience, like, is not going to change your entire reputation.
But it's also that thing where you're like, I want everyone to like me.
I know. But like
that
you struggle
even
with
that too, because I do. I'm like, I don't want anyone to hate me. And I'm sure a lot of people do.
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, I'm a people pleaser. I want everyone to be happy, even if they're awful to me. I'm like, no, I just want them. But yeah, confrontation it's horrible. I mean, men definitely are okay with it. Like I mean that's probably a huge part why like men succeed more.
We were talking about both our boyfriends are much more.
They ask for what they want.
Yeah, and if there's an issue, like Jake is so good about being like, I'm just gonna call them. That literally scares me.
I could throw up.
I don't even want to be in a room where there's confrontation.
I had my boyfriend make my chiropractor appointment. I was like, can you do it? Can you do it? And he's like, yes. Like, I mean, he does it because he's an angel, but it's just like,
but it's inspiring seeing that being like, okay, sometimes I'm like, well, if Jake can do it, like, I need to just buckle down and be a
is when I'm
woman.
Like, if I ask for what I want, even if it does even if like the outcome is like, yeah, here, like you can have this raise or you can have this job or this opportunity. I'm like, okay, cool, I got it, but they hate me. They hate me. Like,
you think because like there was that tension for a little bit that suddenly
they hate me.
It's negative now. I know. It's hard to get out of your head.
I'm always in my head. I'm always in my head. So like what are some techniques that you do to relax or feel better?
I was huge into meditation for a while.
How?
I don't know. Here's how.
I want to so bad, and my therapist even is like, oh, side note, I love therapy. And
we're fans. I think it's important to have a professional.
Important to go even if you don't have anything going on. And I know it can be expensive if you don't have insurance or anything like that.
It prepares you for future things too.
For sure. Just to like go and learn how to communicate better with whoever's in your life or communicate with yourself or just to hash out things that you don't even realize are still bothering you from like years ago. Like my therapist will be like, well, what happened when you were 12? And I'm like, what? I don't know. And then I'll start crying.
Why is that relevant?
Yeah. And then she'll be like, well, that's, I'm a big fan of learning about your inner child. Like that's something that's
it's
like
huge.
But yeah.
One thing on that. Sorry. I want to just say this funny little antidote. But the children thing, like one thing I noticed when you talk to like your spouse who didn't grow up with you, right? They didn't have your childhood. Like I'll tell Jake every time I did something like good, I'll come home and be like, I had a great meeting and I did this and I did this. And he one time asked me like, why do you like have to like, why do you tell all like the successes? Like you like want me to be like, congrats, good job, that's awesome. And it's so funny because like my parents would do that and they would be like, tell us like what you did today that was like big. So and he was so positive about it, but he was like, I noticed you do that. That's like so funny. So cute. So it stems from like all these childhood things that you don't even realize you've carried over.
Right. I love that. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like just to learn like behaviors because the inner child is like, there's also like a technique to be like when you're being hard on yourself, look at like little Julie or little Marissa and like, would you let her say those things? Like look at like, 7-year-old Julie and be like, would you let her say like, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not capable enough? And it's like, no, I wouldn't. So it's like, well, then why are you doing it to yourself now? Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot, but it's so interesting. It's so fascinating. I mean, it
gives perspective.
Yeah, like it took me a really long time to understand why I like thrive in chaos because I do, and it's because like like I said in the love episode is like my parents went through a bad divorce, and like even though they like really loved each other, it was just a really rough time, and it was right when I was like 13. So it's like right when you're hitting adolescence, and
that's tough time.
It's hard to like be in a relationship that's stable and not look for the negative because I'm like, well, this is something bad's going to happen. Something bad's going to happen. Like I'm always so anxious and on edge because I grew up like waiting for the next bad thing to happen and it always came. And to like learn about that and like find coping mechanisms, it's not the best. I mean, on my bookshelf, you could probably see I have the worry workbook.
Dude, all mine are personal development and self-help.
I have the worry workbook.
Like, I need a lot of help.
But that's like important.
That's another great, like, but I really like books. So that's been really helpful for me. Journaling, I need to get more into. Journaling was really helpful, especially. I just feel so
silly, like being like your diary.
I know, it totally feels like that. But being honest about like what you feel, because not only getting it off your chest and almost just like leaving your body, but being able to look back and go, holy crap,
I came a long way.
Like I don't feel that way anymore, or that was because of these situations and that person's out of my life now or this or that. Yeah. It's cool to look back, I think.
But yeah, like circling back around. So what else do you do to take care of yourself? Like if you had even just like something minuscule, like if you had a bad day or a stressful day or if you're feeling overwhelmed, do you do anything like?
I have a weird like home ritual now where Jake and I have a condo and it's kind of like a little tree house. So one thing, I know, you have to come over, you and Alex.
It sounds so cute.
But one thing for me I've noticed is like being around nature calms me.
Right, Alex just texted me. I was like, take off your bracelet.
That's hilarious. Thanks,
I got
Alex.
you, Al. I'm taking it off right now. Oh, God, it's stuck. Can you untie that?
Wait, this is the knot one?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I just put on fake nails. This was not.
Al, can you come untie this?
Oh, gosh.
Wait. I got it.
She got it.
I got it. Sorry, babe. Here we go. What? No more bracelets ever for the rest of my life. I love my bracelets. So look at me. I'm a child.
You are. I wish you could see this. They're like little.
Grace and I made these. I have Jules. She's Grace. And then we have one that mine says Coke and hers says Zero because we're obsessed with Coke Zero.
So yours says just Coke.
I know. She was like, which one do you want? I was like, and hers says Coke.
Hers says Zero.
I have one that says Tula.
Those are both slightly negative on their own.
I made this little ring too.
That is cute. I like that.
Actually, that's a good point because we were super sad and I bought a beading thing and I was like, do you just want to do this? Like we're 7 and we like made bracelets all night.
That's another great one. Mm-hmm. Like just doing things like you would do as a kid or with friends, like get friends around. I love a good like just movie night. Yeah. Disney movies I could watch forever. Yeah. Oh, I was saying like the nature thing. Like our little condo is like white wood and huge windows and all these trees. So being able to either go outside, go on a walk, or be in front of the windows and like light all my candles.
How nice is that?
I love that candles. Really does.
A candle from TJ Maxx?
The only ones that I get.
One time
am I filling in your sentence?
One time I spent $200 on candles.
Just on candles.
That was when I was making money, clearly. Because I was like, yeah, whatever, charge it.
We were talking about $3 wine before this, so.
But yeah, I love candles.
Yeah.
I love candles.
There's just something, it's like cozy. Like even if people were here, like you had 3 candles on the way to the bathroom.
I love my apartment. It's so tiny, but you make it work.
But it's cute.
It is cute.
I like that. Like you get
I don't need
like
a big
cozy
house.
vibe.
I would love to have a big house, but I don't need a big house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
What about you? What other things?
Well, I'll be completely candid because, like, I'll just be honest on this podcast. So when I was 15, I got diagnosed with severe or manic depression. And it was, like, in the midst of, like, the tail end of the divorce and being in high school.
And you're 15.
Yeah, I was in a new school. I didn't know anyone. I was, like, the weird girl from Alaska. And, I mean, I ended up making some really great friends who I don't talk to anymore, but...
But they were great at the time.
They were great when I was 15. No, we just drifted apart when I moved and whatever.
Tough.
But I do have one friend. Her name is Ange. If you're listening, I love you. You're my girl for life. But yeah, I was just like, I was really sad and not in like a crying all day, but in an angry way. And my mom was like, we have to get you to the doctor. Like, there's something going on. So I've been on medication since I was 15, which is 12 years now. But I still like, there was still something like, you know, I need to go back to the psychiatrist because there's still something. So 4 years ago. So it's manic depression, severe anxiety, and bipolar disorder. But I found the right medication and it works so well. But like having those issues, like it is a huge part of who I am. Yeah. And I've never been like, I was embarrassed when I first went to college and I was in a dorm room and I was taking medication because I was like.
And it shouldn't be.
No, but that was 2012.
That's
so
true.
It was just like, it was such a like, oh, she's sad.
Right. There's a lack of education.
I actually went off of it for a while because I was like, I'm embarrassed and I just felt like shit. But it got to the point where I was like, I can't be embarrassed of this anymore. Like, who cares? Who fucking cares? And now, like, thank God mental health is so, like, everyone knows. And I do feel so much better like that in therapy. But my ritual when I just have a bad day now, which has always been, is comedy. Like, I did stand up for a little bit. I love watching comedy. Like, my book's up there once again. I mean, I have a Jesus candle of Alana Glazer from Broad City. I have Amy Poehler's book up there. I have
her book too.
Yeah, I have my favorite podcast in the whole world is called Guys We Fucked, but it's not as bad as it sounds. Like, they're so insightful, amazing comedians in New York. And I actually went to their first show ever, which was like in a basement. And
oh yeah, you told me.
Yeah,
this.
and now they're selling out theaters and they have a book and they're on Luminary, which is a podcast platform that you have to subscribe to, which of course I subscribe to because they're my girls. But yeah, comedy has always been that outlet. And in high school, it was music. It still is music, of course. I mean, back in the LimeWire days, just downloading and listening to Death Cab for Cutie and all that shit growing up, like being sad. And I mean,
music is therapy.
Music is therapy and painting and drawing.
But so is comedy. Like getting away, stepping outside, being able to laugh at some hard shit though.
Some dark shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is nice to get up there, or like when even doing comedy is so relieving, like to just get up there and be like, oh, this horrible thing happened. Like, let's laugh about it. And my best friend Lisa and we laugh about it all the time. Like, she texted me the other day and she was like, well, my car broke down and it's going to cost $8,000 to fix. And I was like, okay, well, what are you going to do? And she's like, I'm going to get a rental car. And then like a week later, she's like, crash the rental car. And of course, we're just like hysterical about it because we're like, what the fuck? Like, we both have bad juju. Like, we're just like a mess. Like, every time something goes right, we're like, well, never mind. But yeah, just like little things like that. Being able to laugh at your misery and sadness.
Yeah. These things are out of your control.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, there's so many days where I wallow in the sadness.
Yeah.
But like having friends that you can joke around about it. And I know a lot of people were like, it's not funny, don't joke about it, which I hate. That's...
You need to cope how you need to cope. And sometimes looking at it with, like, a bit of laughter makes it that much lighter and feels like it has less control over you.
Yeah. But, yeah, just getting it all out there. But it's just so important to take care of yourself. And I've gone so long without taking care of... Like, 2019, I didn't take care of myself at all. Like, I kind of did the thing where you're saying, like, I just ignored the alarms going off in my head. I was like, it'll be fine if I just ignore it. Like, ignorance is bliss.
Yep.
Which is a horrible thing to go about because you should take your problems on, but...
You should, because it's going to be less of a toll on you in the long run. The longer... Like, just by pushing it down and hiding it doesn't go away. It doesn't get addressed.
It's like that moving to a new city. Like, you still are who you are. You can run as far as you want from your problems, but your problems will still be there. You can go to a new country and, like, disconnect from everyone you've ever known, but your problems are still your problems.
But
like,
you can address them and find ways to make it feel a lot more manageable.
Yeah. But it is, like, little things. Like, I think it was in December. I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm taking care of myself. Got my therapy appointment back. Got back on my medication. Started a new skincare routine because I struggle with acne. Started using eyelash serum and started whitening my teeth. Just, like, little things like that where I'm like, I'm just, like, these little routines to just better myself in any way that makes me feel better.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, like, I think good people. I think we all have... Like, there are certain people that will just, like, pull me out of a rut. And vice versa. Like, me and my sister are a good example because I'm that for her and she's that for me. Like, if I'm just in, like, a woe is me, like, my car broke down and this happened and then I got a ticket and then I stepped in mud and then I got pooped on. I don't know.
And I got pooped
by a bird.
Pooped on.
By a bird.
By a person. This man pooped on me.
This homeless man pooped on me. You know, I'm just speaking from experience here. But she'll be, like, one of the first people I'll call because... she'll just almost either start laughing in my face.
You have to.
And vice versa. Like, the other day I called her and she has, like, days where she's just like, I don't know why I feel this way, but I'm just mad. I'm mad at you. And I don't even know why. I'm mad at everyone. I'm mad at the TV. And then I'll just start, like, making jokes or being incredibly dorky. And, like, I'll, like, get a little laugh. And then I go, oh, I got one. And then she's like, I hate you.
You have to laugh at your own misery. It's, like, my favorite therapy. Sometimes I do it, though, and people are like, don't laugh at that. Like, it's not funny. And I'm like, oh, this is how I cope. Just let me laugh at it.
Well, we were in a larger meeting, I'll say, together, Julie and I, and there was no large confrontation, but we all love each other. There was some tension in the room, and Julie saw firsthand that I just throw out jokes. They don't have to be funny. They don't have to make sense. I'll laugh at my own joke. Yeah. But, like, I just have to say something to lighten it up, and, like, it would just be tense, and I'd be like, ha 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 ha, food and beverage. We gotta cut that out. That's definitely gonna give it away.
But yeah, in a bad situation, you have to make a joke. Like, regardless, we're like, we have to cut that out.
That definitely would give it away.
We won't say that. But yeah, in any group situation, actually, so it's so funny. The love episode I talked about Friendsgiving. Friendsgiving was a clusterfuck. Okay,
it was here in Nashville.
I'm gonna tell you about Friendsgiving. Grace and I, my friend here in Nashville, Grace and I were like, let's plan a Friendsgiving.
Yes, is that the story?
With kids from our class, because we're all friends, like, whatever. So we're like, okay, let's, like, plan this party, whatever. So we held it at Alex's apartment. And we're getting ready. Like, I had this cute little outfit on, and she had a cute little outfit on. And we made all this food, and we had, like, mulled cider, and we were, like, so excited. We get to Alex's. We're all starting the night. Like, let's have a drink. Like, let's get, like, later, whatever. Let's get lit. So then our friend walks in, and he's like, hey. And he has someone behind him. And we're like, hey. Like, oh, you brought a friend. It's our fucking professor. Like, they invited our professor. And I don't know... Marissa's face.
I'm sorry. I've just never been at any party with any of my professors.
Grace and I were like, hey.
Is it a young professor?
Yeah, he's young, but he's not nice, and he's weird. Sorry. Like, anytime you bring any professor, it doesn't matter how cool
would a professor want to come to it?
I don't think he knew.
I wouldn't.
what it was. I think he just thought he was being nice, and it was nice. Like, he brought his wife or whatever, but I think he thought it was more of
The professor brought his wife, too?
So Grace and I ran into Alex's studio, and I was like, well, I have to put a hoodie on. I have, like, my cleavage out. And we're both...
My boobs are showing.
Grace is super anxious, too, so we're just like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? So, like... We moved the party to the lobby because Alex was like, well, I don't want him in here. Like, I don't want the professor in my apartment because, like, he's going to see, like, all this stuff that I have, like, lying around. Not that he has anything bad, but it's just, like, I don't know why the kids in my class do the things that they do, but they do the things that they do. So we basically had dinner with him and his wife, and they're so nice. Well, and it was still a nice night, but, like, you can't let loose. You can't drink or whatever. And I was just like, it's so weird. I can't believe he was at Friendsgiving. Anyway, I had a bad confrontation with that same professor months later, which led me to be like, I'm done with this program. I'm not doing this anymore. And I came home hysterically crying to Alex. And then, like, immediately after, I was like, Friendsgiving is going to be so awkward next year.
When him and his wife come back, they're going to keep coming until they have kids, and their kids are going to come.
Why would they invite him,
Little baby professor kids.
I had to. I'm like, I'm leaving grad school, and I'm a mess right now, but hey, let me just joke about my misery for 1 second. And it made me feel better.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah, it did. Because Grace was, like, texting me, like, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? And I immediately said that back to her, and she's like, yeah, it's going to be so awkward. Because, like, you have to joke about it.
You do. Because, like we said, there's so many things that are out of your control, you know? So it's just going to be what it's going to be.
I'm not saying, like, don't have that moment where you cry it out.
Mm-hmm.
Cry it out and, like, feel your feelings. That's also super important, is to feel your feelings and whatever. Even if you're happy, like, feel it.
Yeah.
And, like, embrace it. That's, I mean, I think that's so important, like anything with mental health. And I'm interested to hear about meditation because I'm too anxious to meditate. Like, when I'm doing it, I'm like, there's so many things I could be doing. I have to get this done. Like, so, why am I sitting here?
Here's my trick, which I don't think this is not the correct way they tell you to do this. But I'm the same way. Like, if I'm awake, there are times when, like, I'm like, I can't be waking up right now because I haven't had enough sleep and my eyes literally hurt if I open them. But if my mind's up, I'm already thinking a million things. I can't. I'm like, no, but then I won't be able to sleep, so I just have to get up. But I'm the same way. If I sit in silence or sit with myself, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to do this. I haven't done this. Why am I wasting 10 minutes when it's like 10 minutes, Marissa?
Okay, but there's also people that are like, oh, I meditated for 4 hours.
Oh my gosh, I will never be that person.
What did you do with your day?
I will never be that person.
Oh, sorry, I didn't answer your phone. I was meditating for 4 hours.
I was off the grid.
Don't you have a job?
I don't know. They're a meditation influencer.
Come on. You have things to do.
Yeah.
Didn't you have to pee?
Not for 4 hours, I guess.
I pee every 2 minutes.
I know. I have the bladder of a tiny
I told them the other night at the meeting, I was like, I asked my mom for a catheter for Christmas. They thought I was kidding. I was like, I'm being serious.
Jake and I both, like, it's hilarious. Like,
I pee so much.
We, like, race back and forth. If we have, like, a 6-pack of beer, it's like, oh, no, I have to go again.
I don't even have to be
drinking.
I just pee all the time. I always am like to
how
Alex,
much storage is there? It's, like, the size of my fist.
I'll pee, and then I'll come back, and I'll be like,
I already have to pee again.
All right, go on.
Maybe we should talk to a doctor.
I should.
We're probably not getting all of our
But you know what's so funny? Actually, that's a sign of anxiety, is peeing all the time, which is so weird.
Well, that's eye-opening.
Isn't it weird?
Jake and I pee all the time.
If I have to work the desk at the studio, I'm so afraid to pee because people come to the door all the time. And I said once to Jack, remember Jack?
Mm-hmm.
Because he used to work the desk like years ago. I'm like, well, what do you do if you have to pee? And he's like, hold it. And I'm like, well, I can't. So, like, I won't drink water all day.
And you're, like, so dehydrated.
Yeah. People will come up and they're like, how are you? I'm like, I'm fine.
You're, like, from SpongeBob.
Yeah, I'm like, like, no, but I will pee. I got to the point where I'll, like, just mute the phone for a second and, like, pee. Like, I go to the bathroom and I push the pee out. Like, when you're like, yeah.
You're already unzipping as you're running.
There's been no issues because I'll sit there for hours and nobody comes in. Yeah. And I'm like, I know the second I walk away, like, the most, like, the biggest celebrity in country music is going to come to the door. I just know that's going to happen. And, like, realistically, they'll just walk around to the studio door. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, no. I'm going to shut the whole company down if I leave. Because I have, like, the key. Like, I have to let the people in. People buzz up to get through the elevator and, like, buzz in to get to the gate. And I'm, like, pressing buttons. But I got to pee.
Yep.
Okay, meditation.
You need, like, your own remote. You need to be able to press the buttons.
It's horrible.
In the
I just don't want to let anyone down.
I know. God, maybe we need to hit on that.
I think it happened once, and I was just like, I didn't even hear the bell.
And then you're scarred for life. I didn't even hear a ring.
It's crazy. All right, go on. Meditation.
I will say working out.
Yes.
Even though I don't always want to do it.
It's horrible.
But it does help if, like, you're stressed. Even though, ironically, I'll be stressed because I'm like, I don't have time. I don't have time to do anything. I'm so behind.
Have you ever been at the gym where you're just like, I can't be here right now because I have so much to do? Yeah.
But the days I go to the gym, I get more done than the days I don't.
Very true.
So one, making that a priority. Two, like, just the mental clarity of getting, like, your endorphins up and, like, sweating, like, really does help. But for meditation, I use an app called Headspace.
I've tried this. He has a British accent.
But here's what I do, is I do it after my workout.
Okay.
And I lay all the way down. So,
okay, because I know, like, the first time I tried to do it, he's like, sit up and have your feet on the ground.
I go, you're wrong, you're incorrect. I can't sit up. I'm very uncomfortable. Then my back hurts. Then I try and sit up straight.
But your mind still isn't racing when you're doing this?
No, because if I do it, like, after a cool down, like, if I work out and then I'm laying all the way down, I'm almost in such of a state of, like, relaxation.
I'm going to try
like, euphoria
this.
that, like,
do you do it
I'll
at the gym?
I will, yeah.
What gym do you go to?
The Bellevue Community Center.
What is that?
It's the Ford Ice Center. Like, they just opened an ice rink in Bellevue.
Dude, I've been looking for a new gym.
It's free.
Okay.
There's no.
First off,
It probably won't be forever, but
I want to say something. PSA for people considering moving to Nashville. Every gym here is a group fitness class.
Yeah.
So I was at Planet Fitness. And I don't hate Planet Fitness, but this giant man put his hand in my face the other day. Yeah. And
why? Was he angry or
he took his squat rack.
Oh, gosh.
There was 4 open squat racks, and he was nowhere near it, so I just thought it was open. And then he put his hand in my face, and Alex was like, I'm coming to the gym. And I was like, please don't. And
I'm leaving the gym.
Then Alex called the front desk, and I was like, well, now I have to quit because they...
Now I have to quit. I have to move.
Literally. And I went up to the desk, and I was like, I'm quitting. And she was like, why? And I was like, everyone here is disrespectful. And she's like, okay, just sign here. And I was like, oh, okay, well.
Oh, that was easy.
But then I called all these gyms in Nashville, and they're like, well, we can't tell you our price. We want you to come in first. And I was like, okay, so you're $300 a month. You're $300 a month. And then the rest is, like, literally just group fitness. I didn't know that there was... Oh, and the YMCA?
Expensive.
50... Wait. She goes, how old are you? And I said 27. And she goes, okay. Click, click, click. She's typing. What are you typing?
Like,
what are you typing?
27.
And then she goes, okay, so it'll be $50 a month for you. How much would it have been if I was 15? Like, I don't... What do you mean? You go by age?
There are, like, age groupings.
Why?
I don't know. I think the YMCA is, like, catered to families. If you have a family, it makes sense.
I've never been to the YMCA.
There's camps. There's, like, access to the pool and the gym, and they have, you know, daycare and all these things. So it makes sense there. But, like, for individuals...
is insane.
Yeah, no. That's more than Gold's Gym.
I pay $10 at Planet.
And that's too much. I'm just
kidding. I mean... I don't need to spend $10 on that. Like, that's insane. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to look into yours. Okay.
Yeah, come to Bellevue.
Honestly, I didn't even know that was a thing.
I think it's just because it's brand spanking new. So they have the fitness studio is free right now. And I was just not questioning. I was like, how much? And they were like, oh, it's free. I was just like, okay, I'm never going to ask, and I'm going to keep coming in until you tell me I have to pay.
I just want a normal gym. Yeah. I don't like group. Have you ever taken, like, a yoga? I like yoga. I do. Have you ever done it?
So, Fun fact, I actually got my certification to be a personal trainer.
Really?
Yeah, when I left my first job, I got that just for, like, supplemental income. Cool. And that was, like, a weird bucket list for me, was, like, wanting to be a personal trainer, to be
right.
And I was, like, in the best shape of my life, and now I'm not. And so I need to get back. But,
that's so cool.
I taught group fitness classes for a little bit, for about 4 or 6 months.
Oh, my God.
7 months, maybe.
Did you like it?
I did. I really did, because it was outside. It was all outdoor.
That's
and
really
I
cool.
was in the nice time where it was kind of like spring, fall, or how do seasons go? Anyways, you know what I mean?
That's really cool.
But the only thing was, it was just like a lot. It was like I had to teach 5:30 a.m.s a week.
Oh, never mind.
And then I taught like the evening ones. So that it just became, it wasn't like a good fit, like scheduling wise, but it was a lot of fun.
I do. I mean, it is such a good feeling, like you said, when you running and sweating and your endorphins are up, like you're just like, I feel like I could take on the world.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I like leave the gym and I'm like, I'm going to start another company.
And it is, you're right, like you get more done. I mean, I prefer to work out in the morning.
Yeah, same.
So, yeah, I don't understand people that work out at night. You're crazy. I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
I'll be more stressed if I start like the day and I'm like jumping in all my stuff. Like I really prefer knock it out. Then I feel accomplished. If I do nothing else,
you do things all day. You're like, I'm exhausted. This is the last thing I want to do. I love doing it first thing in the morning.
Yeah,
for sure.
Same. If I have the choice, I will knock it out.
I mean, if it comes 2:00 and I haven't worked out, I'm like, well, I'm not working out today.
I'll talk myself out of it though, the whole time. And then if I've like, the more I've eaten throughout the day, the less I'm like, same. I don't feel like light and
same.
Like,
Like I'm not going today, clearly.
Well, we're already a couple glasses in, so
like I try to plan it. Like, I can't go to the gym this day, but I'll go that. Yeah. I mean, let's talk about this too. When I was in college, like undergrad, I gained a lot of weight. And I've always been I wasn't like huge, but
for you,
I've always been a very tiny person, like growing up, just like stick thin, and I could eat anything I wanted.
Those were the days.
Wasn't that nice?
Cheese balls, ho-hos, ramen after school before dinner.
I used to dip my Teddy Grahams in frosting.
Oh,
and I would sit on the couch and eat Oreos after Oreos. Yeah. And then I went to college and I was like, this is cool. I can eat whatever I want. Like I got this meal card. I can eat burgers every day. And I didn't even realize it until I moved into my first apartment. I was still in college, but I moved into my first apartment. I'll never forget it. I went to one of our favorite bars. I just turned 21. And they had mirrors like behind the seats. And I remember like looking back and I was like, whoa.
Is that me?
Literally. I was like, holy shit.
You don't realize it till it's been like a while. Because it's small. Yeah. It's slow that it happens.
Yeah. And I was like, that doesn't look anything like me. Because I never was concerned with that.
Yeah, it would never cross your mind.
And then I ended up losing 30 pounds.
What?
Yeah, I counted my calories. But then I became obsessed with counting my calories and working out. Like, I would eat a meal and immediately go to the gym. And I was like, this isn't right.
Yeah.
But that is something I work through in therapy, too.
Was this post-college?
I was...
Yeah, or end
it was
of college.
During and then after, and then like it carried over after because I was like still obsessed with like the thought of like not going back there again and not letting me myself eat bad.
Traumatic when you
and I never realized actually until I moved to Nashville and had the therapist I had now, and she was like, "You have an eating disorder," which I wasn't like because I wasn't anorexic and I wasn't bulimic. Yeah. Like I wasn't starving myself, I wasn't making myself throw up, but I was.
You were just hyper concerned with.
Yeah, and she was like, "That's not a way to live." And I worked through it, actually, like, really well. It was easy to me because I was kind of like, oh, I can eat this.
You're like, I get to eat more? Okay.
And now all, like, balance.
Yeah.
It's all balance, but, like, I'll never cut, like, pasta out of my life again. I'll never cut out, like, sweets and stuff like that. Like, if I
enjoy if
I eat a little more, I just work out a little harder the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
and consistency is the biggest thing.
But food is therapy too. Like food makes me feel good.
It makes me so happy.
I'm a food person. I know a lot of people that Grace isn't. She's like, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, like she's not.
I've never been that person that people be like, oh, I was so busy I forgot to eat lunch today. I'm like, I've never forgotten to eat in my life.
That too. Alex is like, yeah, I haven't eaten all day. And I'm like, aren't you starving? And he's like, no, I just like was busy. And I'm like,
Jake can fast for hours. And I'm like, I wake up and I go, where do you want to eat today? He's like, all you think about is food.
I eat breakfast every day. Every day.
I'm like, is it time to eat now?
Starving all the time. I don't know. Always hungry. Grace doesn't eat either. She's like, yeah, I haven't eaten today. And I'm like, well, eat now. She's like, no.
I'm fine.
How are you fine?
Also, Jake's good at like, if he's full, he stops eating. If it's on my plate, I'm going to eat it.
Same.
I'll be like, oh, I don't feel good. I'm still going to finish the freaking plate. Gosh, I do have a problem with like emotional eating.
Well, yeah. So when you're like in like a state of anxiety or whatever, do you eat more or eat less?
I wish it was less.
Me too.
No. I had a bad habit that I'm trying. It's also hard to like correct habits that became habits. One was like growing up, which was so funny because like Jake's family grew up like how you're saying, where they would eat dinner together, like at the table, talking the whole time, like looking at each other.
Yeah.
And so did my family. But when we got so busy and people were like going in and out and stuff, we would sometimes like watch TV and like eat our dinners.
Yes,
like,
I had that too. TV try, yeah.
Yeah. And so I also did that then going to college, and then also did that like after. So I associated, like, if I turned on TV, my mouth would start salivating.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be hungry or
It's
feel
like
like I
Pavlov's
needed
thing,
chips.
yeah.
So trying to, like, correct that, or being like, you get to eat carrot sticks, you crazy human being.
Isn't that insane?
Like, you can eat something, but it has to be something.
Comfort. I mean, when I have bad days now, I'm like, well, I'm just going to eat anything. Anything.
Yeah, that's my thing. If I have a bad day, I'll, like, get Panda Express or I'll get, like, you know, bags of chips and, like, or Smart Food, and I'll eat the whole bag.
Oh, the popcorn?
Yeah.
I love popcorn.
I freaking love popcorn.
My doctor said I had to stop eating it. Yeah, I was eating it so much it was, like, tearing my stomach line.
Oh, my gosh.
Isn't that insane?
That is crazy.
I love popcorn. Popcorn's my favorite food. I mean, Alex just made popcorn.
Can we do, like, a video taste testing of popcorn?
Hell yeah. Did you ever have the kind...
You're going to try the Flamin' Hot popcorn.
I will.
Just to try it.
Did you ever have the kind they sell in the line at TJ Maxx? Like, you know, when you're in line and they have, like, all those, like, weird...
Oh.
It's
It's,
chocolate
like, tall
on
and
it.
skinny, and it's like a... Does it have, like, caramel on it or
Yes.
some of them?
Don't buy that.
Oh, okay.
Because you won't stop.
Oh.
You won't stop. I
they
like,
were
bought
bad.
it on the way to the gym, and I was like, I'm just going to try it. I, like, ate a whole bag before I got to the gym, and I was like,
Did you go in the gym?
No.
I would have left. I would have turned
I was like,
right
there's
around.
literally no point of this at all. I love
I
popcorn.
love popcorn.
But yeah, food is a big comfort, but I wouldn't suggest it with your mental health. I mean, eat.
Oh,
For
yes,
sure.
But
eat.
yeah, watch, like, why you're eating. Like, it should be fuel. I'm preaching this, like, I should do more of it.
Yeah.
It should be fuel. It should be helping you, like, get through the day and feeling good and have
so
energy.
good when you, like, go to the gym and then you have, like, a salad and like you meditated.
Like, how did I not lose 14 pounds?
Yeah, but don't you feel
that one
so
session?
good at
I
the
feel
end of the
incredible.
day? I haven't done that in so long. I should start doing it.
You know what's one thing? I don't know if this is a tip or a coping method, but drinking more water has helped because it really does keep me full longer, and when I eat, then I'm more mindful of, like, how much I actually should
doing
be
a
eating.
half gallon now because I don't know.
We'll start there, and you can always increase.
I was doing a gallon a day since summer, and then, like, second week of January hit, and I was like, I can't. I'm peeing so much, but I will get back to it. It's really hard.
It's also tough for people. Like, my mom has a hard time doing a full gallon because she's a nurse. So, like, she's, like, going from patient to patient.
Yeah, when are you going to, like, drink your gallon?
Yeah, she's like, I can't be, like, leaving, you know, every 10 minutes. And so I totally get that. You're trying to, like, you know, find your rhythm and what makes sense. And
but just drink enough water. I mean, I know people,
just
Alex
try
doesn't
and
drink
keep it.
water. I don't know how he's alive. He doesn't drink water. I'm like, did you drink water today? And he's like, I had a Coke Zero.
it doesn't have any water.
We're huge Coke Zero fans.
I can tell
Sponsor us.
you have bracelets.
I'm obsessed with Coke Zero. I love Coke. And I'm not even, like, a big soda person, but Coke Zero is
But
so
Coke
nice.
Zero is.
Yeah, I like juice better. But I only drink water now when I have a meal. Like,
Yeah.
unless it's dinner. I'll have wine.
Just a little something, something.
That's nice too. Like, I'll put on my essential oil diffuser, have a glass of wine, and play The Sims.
Oh my gosh, you and your Sims.
I just got into them when I was home for the holidays because I was stressed out and I was like, I can't be with my family. I'm gonna go buy The Sims, or I'll watch Love Island.
Building on that, what are activities you do when you're stressed?
Well, watch comedy, watch Love Island. I'm obsessed.
It's great. I've already finished it. Or is there a new season?
New season just came out. There's only 5 episodes right now because it comes out weekly, but it's terrible.
But it's terrible in a good way.
Yeah, but this season sucks because they're in a new villa and they're in South Africa. And, like, I mean, I'm only 3 episodes deep, but I don't have a connection to any of the islanders like I used to. I like to go out. Going out makes me feel good. Like, even if it's not to, like, get drunk, I just like going out, sitting at a bar
Doing
with my
something.
friend and, like, having a conversation. Like, Grace and I had such a bad day the other day with work and just things going on. And we took those photos that I sent to you. We went to Old Glory. Just had, like, an old fashioned, and then we walked to next door to Barcelona Wine Bar, and we were like, do you just want to get a picture of sangria? And, like, it was so, like, light. We didn't get drunk, but we just, like, sat there and talked, and, like, just to be able to talk to your girlfriend and have, like, be out in a social setting where you're not home. But it also is sometimes nice. Like, I'll come home and I'll make a bowl of pasta and I'll sit on this couch and I'll watch, like, trash TV.
Yeah.
With just, like, me. And I'll tell Alex, like, hey, I'm feeling bummed tonight. I just want to stay home. And he's cool about it. I mean, what do you do when you live with someone? Do you ever just want to be like, I need my own space? Like,
no, that's a good point. I mean, what was ironic is that when Jake has been, like, working nights and I didn't, like, I would have that time and he would have the daytime. Like, we kind of had our own moments. But now, like, I still definitely get up before him. So I like to take that, like, morning time to either, like, work out, do my journaling. Like, if I've been on top of it in January, but, like, let's not pretend I've been journaling my whole life.
Do you, like, journal like this happened, or do you journal about things you want, or?
Right now, I'm using it more as, like, documenting. So I kind of got inspired by a podcast that was talking about it from a business aspect of, like, journaling how you feel in that time of, like, growth or confrontation, if you have to hire, fire, whatever, you're building products, you're whatever. So I've been just documenting, like, how I feel each day, but then also what's happening. So I can go back and be like, I talked about anxiety, like, the entire month of January. Oh, that's because I was building products, or that's because, like, clients were slower, or this or that. Yeah. And so it's fun to kind of look back. And it also, like, it gets it out. Like, if I do it in the beginning of the day, I'm almost just being like, this is something that's kind of, like, on my heart right now, but I'm just gonna, like, I'm gonna write it away. And then I'm gonna go work out. And then I'm gonna feel so much better when I come home, and I'm like, I could do nothing the rest of the day and be like, oh, this was a great day.
I mean, it's so, like, everyone knows that, like, it's important to take care of yourself and all, but until you start doing it, you're, like,
you have to do it. I'm really lucky that Jake and I both, like, just some private time. So even now, like, we both have been working from home. This is the first time we're literally at the house all day long together. And I thought, like, we'd drive each other crazy, but I feel like it's only, like, brought us closer.
How many bedrooms?
Amazing. 3 bedrooms.
Nice. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Like 3 bedrooms.
So there's plenty of space. And I think it's important that we have different offices.
Yes.
So I have, like, my desk in, like, the living area. And then he has, where our studio is also, like, he has a working desk so he can do stuff there. So even, like, we'll wake up in the morning, or say I get up before him or something, or
4 a.m.
No, before him.
Oh my God.
Before him.
What are you, Mark Wahlberg? Like, holy shit.
I wish, but I'm not.
Did you see that? He's like, I wake up at 3. Like, okay.
That is nighttime. That is not like
literally bedtime.
That's not like, oh, close, like a 5.
Get out of my face. He doesn't do that. I don't believe him.
He just did it for the content.
Nobody does that. You wake up at 3 a.m. every day and work out 4 times and go golfing. He's like, oh, I go golfing at 7.
I would be broken by 11 a.m.
Okay, Adam Sandler. He's my favorite.
I love Adam Sandler.
Okay,
continue. He's our whole family. That and Will Ferrell. Like,
Adam Sandler is my Alex and I might drive to South Carolina to see him. He has a special on Netflix. Mm-hmm. Did you watch it?
Which one?
It's so funny. It's like called 100% Fresh, I think. But he has a joke about, like, oh yeah, you wake up early. Have you ever woken up early? It's like sometimes you start your day and then, like, you have breakfast. I'm gonna butcher this, but you have breakfast and then you work out and you're like, this is great, I'm working out, and then you have another breakfast because you don't know what to do, and then you go outside and you see your kids get on the school bus and you're like, oh, that's how they get to school, and then you go inside and you go to work and then you're in the middle of a meeting and it's 11 a.m. You're like, how long is this fucking day? Like, it's so true because I've, like, gotten up early and I'm like, it's 12 and I'm ready for bed.
Yeah. I'm like, can I go home now? Can I go home now?
No. Have you ever worked out before work?
Yes.
No. I've done it, like, once and I was like, that's why.
It was tough when I was doing the 9 to 6 job.
And I guess that's, like, when else are you going to do it?
Yeah. And because, like, in the music industry, there's also events after work. So, like, there were literally days, like, just, like, I can't, like, unless I get up early. But you're exhausted. You're exhausted. So there was a time when I was trying to, like, build my music stuff so I could leave. And so there was, like, a short span of getting up at, like, 5. But what was hilarious then is, like, I would see Jake on Sunday if he took off, and I would see him when he would go to bed at 5, and I would wake up at 5. He'd be like, good night, and I'd be like, good morning.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's insane. When I was in the city,
you need a balance. That's why, like, there's so many reasons.
Yeah, when I was working in New York, I mean, I'd have to leave my house at, like, 6:30. Oh,
yeah, you had a commute.
Yeah, I was, like, leave my house at 6:30 a.m., and then, I mean, work ended at 6, but I joined Equinox because I'm a fool. Do you know what Equinox is?
No, oh but God. I love that you're a fool.
I'm a fool. It's the most expensive gym.
Oh, really?
It's so expensive. But it was right next to my train.
Mm-hmm.
And they have, like, eucalyptus towels and, like, a sauna and, like, bamboo showers. So it was, like, so nice. And I would go after work just because it was right next to my train. But my God, was it expensive.
Really?
Yeah. And I was tired.
Yeah.
And they have like wheatgrass shots and stuff like that,
gosh.
which are disgusting. They're so
Anyone
disgusting.
that's just like, I love these stinking shots.
People lie. So
They
people love to
lie.
lie. People
The
love to
cayenne
lie.
shots and
Get out of my
ginger, I've
face.
taken
Kale?
them. It's disgusting.
I hate kale.
It's worse than medicine.
Do you like kale?
I like the
kale
greens,
chips.
but I cannot do the juices. Like the
disgusting. Why would you drink
Jake
that?
likes the juices, the beet and kale juices.
I like beet.
I do like beet.
I like beet juice. I like carrot juice, but kale. Ugh.
The only way I can do a juice is it has to have like a ton of like apples and lemons.
Yeah. My mom's
You
always
know,
like,
to, like,
kale's
sweeten it.
sweet. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not.
No. The
It's
only
not
type of kale I
sweet.
like is like chips. Like when
Kale
you
chips
bake
are
it.
so good. When you bake it yourself and you put like sea salt on them, oh yeah, those are
That's
good.
good.
Those are good, but the rest.
But the little shots that people are like, oh,
Why
it's
do
so
people
cool.
lie about that?
They want to be healthier. They want to come
That's
across.
cool. Like eat it, but don't act like you like it.
just
like don't lie.
Just be honest.
Like I'll eat a kale salad, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like, this is so good.
this
I'm
is
like,
so much better than a
this
burger.
is disgusting. Yeah. Why do people
Rather be eating popcorn.
Why do people do that? Yeah, I guess like the whole mental health thing, like go to therapy, get medication if you need it, listen to those alarms going off in your head if something's wrong. Like there's nothing embarrassing about it. If you have like the right people around you, nobody's gonna judge you.
Yes.
And if they
find
do,
good
get rid of them.
friends. Yeah.
Get rid of them. You don't need them.
If anyone judges you for you feeling a certain way or going through anything, get them out. Not worth it. Not worth it.
Not worth it
Mm-mm.
all.
Watch your emotional eating, but enjoy life. Like if you
Those
like
people that
drinking,
don't
if
eat
you
when
like
they're
eating,
sad, I wish. I wish.
That will never be me.
Neither. I'm
Ever.
too sad to eat. No.
I'll never forget to eat.
I'll go to Walgreens and buy like $25 worth of chocolate and come home and eat it all.
Are you salty or sweet? Would you prefer like
sweet?
Okay,
Sweet
I'm
for
salty.
sure. Are you really?
Totally.
I
1000.
love sweets.
Could eat,
I
like,
love
9 bags
candy. I
of
love
chips.
pastries.
So
I love
good.
ice cream. I do like salty though.
Yeah, I mean I like sweet as well, but like
I love
if I had to
chips.
pick, I'll give up
I
sweet
love
right
chips. Potato chips, like just classic potato chips, kettle cooked potato chips.
Ooh.
They're my fave. I used to get a monthly box of Lay's delivered to me.
now. What? I'm finding out you were so bougie.
Yeah, no, it's so cheap. It's Lay's potato chips, like the little bags. It's like fucking $10 a month. I used to get Amazon, like it was just on reorder.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that's
because
awesome.
it was so delicious. My best friend Lisa got me hooked on that because she sent me a whole box because she knew how much I love them.
Aw.
Yeah, she's the best gift giver ever. But
Such a good friend.
yeah, I left my curling iron actually at her house when I was home last, and I was like, "Can you send it to me?" And she was like, "Yeah, I want to get around to it." And I was like, "Okay, well, that means never." So I bought a new one, and then she had her mom go to the post office the other day and ship it to me. And her mom's so funny. She's this New Jersey Italian. She's got like the thickest accent. And she's just like, I could have shipped it to her for free. I could have bought her a new one. It's cost me so much money to ship it to her. I could have bought her a new one. And then like I got it the other day and I texted her mom and I was like, thank you, I love you. And she's like, wish I could have delivered in person. And I didn't have the heart to be like, well, I bought a new one. The box is sitting under my chair. And Lisa was like, why would you buy a new one? I told you I'd ship it to you. And I was like, it's been a month.
Like, my hair is straight. It needed some
I
give.
can't do the straight hair all the time.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah. Yeah. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
Is there anything else?
I think we're good.
I think we're good too.
We've
Send
got
us
a whole lot of ideas for future ones.
Send us emails. Send us questions. We're not the best at it. That's why it's
Hey,
called
we're figuring it out together.
Adultish. Yeah, but we've got experience. And
We talk all the time.
yeah.
We got experience.
I read self-help books. But yeah, follow us at Adultish Advice Podcast everywhere, right?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. And then adultishadvicepodcast@gmail.com.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, guys.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.